Do we look okay?
I think so. I look good. You could use
You
some more.
always look. Oh, excuse me? Is that how it's gonna be?
Very grumpy daddy.
Maybe I have a kink for when you're grumpy.
Do you?
In my back. It's
You have a
stress.
grumpy daddy
It's all the
kink?
stress. It just.
Is that why you poke me so much? You just want me to be grumpy?
No. Put in weird sound effects for every poke and hit and
Grumpy.
and now put dance music.
Boop, boop.
No, not you.
No.
Editor.
Hello!
Welcome back to
What's Safe Word?
I'm Ant.
I'm Miss Christopher.
And today,
We're doing it again, part 2.
I love when you say we're doing it again, as if like they know what it is. Oh, or do they know? Ooh, do they know what it is?
We're doing the kinky kinks. Funny kinks. The kinks and something. We're doing another episode where we react to your curious kinks.
So, a few weeks back, we did a Curious Kinks episode. We decided to do a survey where we asked you for some of your curious kinks. And I was like, hey, tell us about some stuff to react to. Only sex positive reactions, no kink shaming unless you're Kevin. And we had around 200 replies. We did the episode. I said, hey, the link's still there. And y'all did not disappoint. I said, hey, maybe we'll do episode 2. We have over 1,000 entries now.
Who knew there was 1,000 kinks out there?
What I mean, a lot of them share the same kinks, but 1,000 people that have secret kinks that they feel weird about.
And last time we got into how kind of kinks and fetishes form, but we don't need to do that again.
Yeah, I feel like that's redundant, repetitive, so let's just jump right into it. You know, I bet Philly D likes to punch people in the throat. I bet that's his secret kink, you know?
The cream G's?
Philly D, Philip DeFranco.
Oh, no.
Hey, you beautiful bastards, that guy.
Philly D. Philly D on my D. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer!
This is not about kink shaming. This is about destigmatizing kinks.
Although I might laugh a lot.
That is acceptable. And we're trying to have fun with kinks. So again, kind of breaking down and talking about why these are interesting things and maybe figuring out some kinks of our own in the process.
Last time I found one I liked.
Which one?
I don't know.
Oh.
But I'm sure
I love
I did.
that. I love that. So no kink shaming allowed.
Unless you're Kevin.
No shaming in the comments.
Unless you're Kevin.
Excuse me.
Unless you're Kevin.
No. And just remember that we're talking about fantasies versus reality a lot of the time when we talk about this, and always talking about these situations with enthusiastic consent in mind. Some of you even gave me titles for your story, so I'm excited for today. First kink. This one is just called Pop Off Sis. What do you think it's about?
Popping zits?
No.
Wait, pop off cis like SIS or CIS?
CSI. It's a term that the drag queens use. Pop off, sis.
Pop off. Go in and pop off. Sis.
Pop off, wig.
Gaga, pop off.
Totally knew that.
And it goes, I'm into NBM, which stands for Natural Body Magic. First thoughts?
Disney?
Why? Wait, what?
I don't know, cause like Cinderella body magic, she turns into a princess. Is that?
No.
Hush. It's magic time.
I have a magical body.
I imagine being able to take apart body parts, arms, legs, head, chest, etc. But it's specifically as a magician's assistant. Like I'm the assistant to David Copperfield or Sophie Edelstein. But I'm in sexy tight clothing, maybe hypnotized or just locked into one of those magical illusion boxes. Then I'm twisted in half and my parts disappear and reappear. I'm trapped in the box and restrained, twisted up like a pretzel or divided into multiple pieces. I really don't know why, but it's such a turn on for me.
What about saw it in half? You know how the magicians, they did that with the box, they cut it. I actually kind of got turned on as a kid when that
Really?
happened. Yes.
So that sounds like it would fall under this NBM or natural body magic that they're
Cool.
talking about.
Like Houdini, every time he got in all these chains and then they put him underneath the water and he had to contort to get out.
That just sounds like bondage.
No, but it was always cool when their feet were over here and then they put the boxes this way and then their head were at their feet.
Oh, absolutely.
What if they also had a foot fetish?
Oh my God.
They could smell their own feet. Twofer, 2-in-1 fetish. Like when you lose your teeth, you lose your twofer.
Don't joke about that, because I got something coming up in a second.
Oh!
But, magic, natural body magic. Unbeknownst to me, I was reading through a bunch of the posts, and then I found this one, like 100 posts after it, and they said, I grew up with a kink fetish of being a magician and having a handsome assistant who was nervous at first, but eventually I secure them down in a box and start tickling, tying up, and taking away their body parts. These two people
Should get together.
it's like Titanic, but kinkier.
Wait, can we mix them up in two different boxes though, and then put them together so that they're two separate people but one? You follow me? You follow me? You get it? You get it?
Wherever your body parts are. And both of these entries said something along the lines of like, I don't feel like I can express this to my partner. They're gonna think I'm weird. You two are made for each other, and it sucks that this is anonymous. Obviously, I wouldn't share this information either way, but these two people have the same kink and don't even know each other.
So, but how do you do this kink? So obviously you can't take body parts away. So is this just a verbal kink that you fantasize about and your partner talks about putting you in a box?
By sharing your fantasies, you're able to give your partners the verbiage or maybe the dirty talk that you might want, or just get inside of your head. I think that, especially with these natural body magic people, I guess that's what we call this kink, their kink is something you can't realize, obviously, without actually don't remove body parts. But it's something that as we see more things like VR, like you know how we have our headsets, our little VR headsets, like people are starting to now create these like VR chats or areas where they can realize and act out certain fantasies, whether it's sexual or not. Like furries are all over the place with their furry VR people, and they're able to like be their furries online and interact with their friends, and they're so cool. I imagine one day we'll have VR porn that can help people realize being turned into certain things or having more muscles or even like taking apart body parts and just being able to visualize that.
So in the VR, you would walk in front of a mirror and you'd be like, ooh, I'm swole.
Yeah.
And why is my arm coming out of my head?
Why not? It's that disassociation from your actual body where you're in that VR space that I think a lot of these kinks can be realized eventually, magically.
Magic body.
No.
I can make you disappear. Oh no, where'd you go?
Oh my God!
Come back!
Oh, phew. What the fuck?
That was daddy magic.
Next kink. This next one says, Star Wars. Yes, I know it's weird, but Star Wars is one of my kinks. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. Imagine, if you will, a lightsaber dildo. They exist. They do exist. We're not promoting that, but they do exist. Oh my
They
God.
grow.
Ooh. The force is strong with this one.
Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
These are not the kinks you're looking for.
What about when Princess Leia was chained to Jabba the Hutt?
Oh, I could see why someone would like that.
I think that was most teenage boys' fantasy.
I've seen enough slave Leias at Comic-Cons to know that they...
But I liked when Han Solo was frozen in the brick wall.
In Carbonite?
Ah, that was pretty hot. And he looked like he was in pain.
Again, I could see
Which
where the
turns me
tropes...
on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and Ewoks. Were those the first furries? Think about it. They were furries. And you just wanted to take one home. And you wanted to love it and hold it and treat it like your very own.
I bet you when they get the Star Wars into the bedroom, they like to be called Jabba the Butt. Boba Fett life.
Okay, now I regret doing this.
Next kink. This next one, I'm just calling You Drive Me Crazy.
Brittany.
I don't know if Brittany wrote this or not, but it goes on to say, it's so shameful for me, but I really enjoy being praised in any way at all. I'm down for pet play, DDLG, Dom sub, anything as long as I get attention.
I feel like that's most people.
But no, they're saying like anytime they get praised, even if it's like a shameful way, so like, oh, aren't you a good little boy? Like talking down to someone but praising them is also a part of this. I feel.
Again, I feel like that's most people. Well, most people I play with. Anyway.
I actually did some research, and that was the top result was, but doesn't everyone love this? I hear you asking and physically asking. Yes, but people are not getting sexually aroused specifically by being praised.
I do.
Oh, well.
Maybe this is my kink. Oh, I discovered a new one. I love it when you tell me I'm doing a good job.
Okay, well, but that's a good point too. Subs love getting praised, probably especially in this, but Doms need praise too. You're doing such a good job today, Daddy. You're doing such a...
Well, I think you do a very good job putting these shows together and doing all the research, and that's it.
See, I'm not sexually aroused, but I did appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Do you have a kink for sponsorships?
Yes.
Do you want to feel like this? Ooh, are you getting hot and
Scared?
maybe
Nervous?
you need today's sponsor?
No, you need
All four. All four. Daddy, what is all form?
a couch that comes in a box that Daddy can assemble.
Yes. And it's also the sister company of Helix, which is the mattress brand that we talk about all the time. They have chairs that are American made, easy to assemble, and they're modular. So you can actually get like a base love seat, which is what we got, and you can add to it by just getting modular pieces that all screw together. They come in boxes, they're easy to ship and grab, and then you just put it together in 15-ish minutes. Someone didn't read the directions the first time. I'm not pointing fingers.
You know what's so great about Allform is when Daddy doesn't read the instructions and they make it so simple to take apart and do it right. How hard is that?
No matter how you spend your downtime, your sofa is an integral part of your home, which is why we were super excited to partner with Allform for this video.
Now their modular sofas can all be personalized for your space and style with 500 plus unique combinations depending on how you want the seats, the corners, the ottomans, or the pillows.
Making it easier to fit furniture into your space.
Now for our space, we chose a nice love seat and it had a lovely turquoise blue color, had walnut finishings, and it was just so cute and comfortable too.
And you know what love seats are great for.
What?
Love?
It is very comfortable for certain actions that we can't talk about in detail.
Demonetized.
And because Allform ships directly to you with their premier materials, it means you're getting a really good price and it ships right to your door fast and free. And they give you a 100-day trial, so you get more than 3 months to make sure that you love it. And if you don't, they'll pick it up and offer you a full refund. And in boxes that aren't very heavy.
For you?
Well, I'm working now. I love our Allform sofa. It's cute, it fits our space, so if you would like to get your own saving,
Go to allform.com and use offer code WATT.
the link will be down below and you get 20% off your own sofa. Whee! Thank you again to Allform for sponsoring today's episode. Again, they make our content possible. They help keep the lights on, literally. Hopefully that ad placement wasn't too premature though, because this next one is just labeled, hopefully this one isn't premature. And it goes on to say, I'm really into unwanted erections and premature ejaculation. Now I'm a trans man, and while I'm not uncomfortable about my own genitalia, I have always had to work really hard to get to orgasm. There's something incredibly erotic and exciting when someone else can't control their arousal and has an unwanted or an embarrassing orgasm. But I think what really gets people going, and I think is a parallel here, is like edging or denial play or ruined orgasms. People love that unexpected motion, feeling, how people react. So I totally get this. But I also love that they included, their identity, and that because they don't have that specific genitalia they're talking about, but they also have a hard time with orgasms, it's still a way in which they can experience that.
Hot.
Again, I think this is a perspective thing. Flip it on its head.
Wait, is that a new kink?
No, it's just a change in your perspective and how you think about it. Like for this, imagine you are so hot, you turn your partner on so much that they cannot control or they have a premature ejaculation. That's a positive in my mind.
Turning you on.
Oh.
Are you ejaculating?
I'm not yet, no.
Hurry.
That doesn't help.
Get turned on.
I'm not.
Turn on.
This is an actual medical condition that people might have, premature ejaculation. So I don't want to make fun of, but I want to empower people and say that I found entire Reddit threads where people were asking, how do I obtain a premature ejaculation? Like there was entire conversations people were having.
Come to daddy.
Oh my God.
Come for daddy.
And within that thread, I actually found a really, really heartwarming, kind of positive view of premature ejaculation. And it said, the medical definition for premature ejaculation states, the premature ejaculation must cause some level of distress for a male, his partner, or both. And considering how some people view the ejaculation of being like sexual, fun, embarrassing, but in a sexy way, I think we need to change that definition.
And I love frustrating people.
There's that. I totally get it. I'm not letting you watch The Simpsons anymore. This one is called Something to Chew On. And it goes, I think I have a kink relating to teeth, sharp canines in particular. But I love any teeth, except for like uber perfect ones that fall into that uncanny valley. I like the look of teeth, the feeling of them, and more. Pulling lips or cheeks to reveal teeth is super hot, as well as light biting on various body parts. Alternatively, muzzles and gags are hot in their own right because you can see the teeth. And it finishes, ironically enough, I have a fear of dentistry.
How can you like teeth but fear dentists?
It sounds like they're biting off more than they can chew. Do not bite me.
You know, I like biting somebody,
No.
but I don't like being bit. Conversely though, I love the dentist. I love sitting in, I get so calm when I sit in the chair, and when they put that big thing,
Oh.
and then they start doing it.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, I love the dentist.
You know what I hate though? Is that they do that and then they start asking you questions.
I know, they keep talking to you. And my dentist thinks I'm really funny because I tell him. And I've told my dentist, I've had ball gags in my mouth longer than this, and that cracks him up.
My dentist always compliments my lack of gag reflex. Anyway, I found this one especially interesting because I'd never heard of it. I'd never heard of teeth being a fetish, but I could absolutely see it because, and especially with this person, fear and arousal are so similar in our brain. The way that it evokes a feeling out of us.
But surely biting is a huge fetish.
Sure, but it's not even that. They're all about the teeth. They just want the teeth, and they want them to look real, but they really like imperfect teeth.
They're trying to turn them on. Is this turning on?
Ironically, my bark is worse than my bite. So where this fear of the dentistry and like the arousal for teeth, I think might also come from, again, is just being imprinted or having that adverse reaction. Like fear makes us horny.
I'm so turned on.
But it's how we don't really stop and think about it and intellectually categorize like when we're scared of something. So like at a scary movie, we're titillated in different ways. Oh my God! Or like, let's say you go on a roller coaster at an amusement park, you're on a date with someone, we translate that fear or the excitement that we get from that fear to our partner in that way. And I don't think we even realize it, but it makes that sensation, it makes that roller coaster ride a real roller coaster ride.
Sure, but that makes sense. Fear raises your adrenaline. So if you combine that with sex, you're gonna have a really fun time.
Absolutely.
Whoa! Did I scare you?
I mean, a little bit, but oh my God. It was so loud.
Did it turn you on?
I mean, I got goosebumps a little bit, so yeah, it works. My God. Fear or even perceived danger in instances of like where someone maybe has like something sharp or you're blindfolded, you don't know what's going on. In that perceived danger, you still are getting aroused and you can turn that into even more horniness. So it makes sense whether you're fighting tooth and nail or just wanting to get nailed. Ooh.
You in danger, girl.
Whoopi, are you here?
You in danger, girl.
The next kink goes,
No, I want to read one.
ironically, I just got cucked. Go ahead, Daddy.
Cucking, it's never something I would do in real life, but the idea of being cucked is very hot to me. The actual thought of being cucked makes me upset, as I am very monogamous, but the fantasy is very attractive to me. I feel ashamed because I am a woman and it seems weird by many people. I don't know why being a woman makes it weird.
I think that comes with just the misogynistic nature that comes and seeps its way even into the kink realm. And that when you talk about cucking, it always seems that it needs to include a guy that's locked up. Now, cucking is when you watch your partner pretty much have sex with someone else. Now, there's a lot of embarrassment that goes into why people enjoy it. There's a lot of like fun and sexiness to it, but chastity is also a very constant thing within like cuckold scenes or fantasies.
And you're very cuckable.
Oh, wait. And within the survey, there was a lot of chastity and cucking and cuckolding, as well as like penis humiliation that went along with it. So certain women would say like they had a bull or a stronger man than who they currently dated, and they would do it in front of their husband. And like that humiliation aspect is what people enjoy.
B-U-L-L,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
B-O-W-L.
No.
Okay, because that's bull.
I'm gonna steer this conversation back. Anyway.
No, don't bull me over.
Move over, Daddy. Now you're just milking it. But I also think that cuckolding is very intimate. You have to be not only very trusting of your partner, which is an amazing thing to have in a relationship, but you're able to use that energy and watch your partner get it on with someone else and be excited and have compersion, which is another great thing.
Yeah, so you're enjoying watching your partner get pleasure. Think about that. I get why you would think it's a secret, but I think it's a very common secret. I think lots of people are into this one.
Yeah, you're just comfortable enough to express that you might be into it and might want to do it. And I encourage you to just flip the script. A lot of the time, it's your perception of something and how you think other people will project onto you. But girl, you are doing just fine. If you're able to get on this and type out what you're into, you are already a step ahead of most people.
That's your first step.
Don't let Kevin get you down. Kevin.
Who's Kevin?
I don't know, it's just a name we chose. We were just...
Oh.
If your name's Kevin watching this, I'm so sorry. Next kink. Okay, this one, I scoured the internet. I was fascinated by this one. I looked everywhere, and there was like 8 of me looking as well. Some might even say I had double vision. This one was just called Kaleidoscope Effect.
Oh, this is perfect for your multiple personalities.
And it goes on to say, so this one pretty much requires a video, but I quickly started getting really into the kaleidoscope effect, which they explain as, I think it's because it can sometimes stimulate a gangbang even when there's just one person. Maybe it's a form of hypno or spirals. I literally stumbled onto a porn video with the effect on it, and I never get tired of it.
So is this like having 12 mirrors kind of turn in?
What I'm picturing is like, imagine there was a little like triangle that was just like duplicated. So right now you're seeing 12 of Daddy on screen, which is probably terrifying. So let's say you have your dick out, you're doing stuff with it, and maybe it's like blurry, it could even be artsy, you know? I could see how that would be really sexy. But I've never heard of someone having a kink for just seeing things in a kaleidoscope view. Maybe you could like wear kaleidoscope goggles. I just couldn't find anything on this kink besides this person explaining it.
Did you try a kaleidoscope?
Next kink. Now this one is called Try This On for Size. Again, I want to be very clear. We're not shaming and we are all for body positivity, but it goes on to say, I don't know if this form is still open. It is, you're welcome. But I feel gross about this kink. I have a feeder and fat kink, and I find weight gain and soft-bellied people really sexy. It makes me feel bad for some reason, and I believe it comes from childhood when accidentally coming across DeviantArt inflation and weight gain porn that I started getting into it. And then it has just like a really sad face, like a
That's actually not that unusual. If you look at mid-century art, most of the glorified bodies were very shapely and round, and that was because food was scarce.
You know what that is, Daddy? That's flipping it on its head.
It's only recently in modern times where the thinner model was glorified.
When we have all these fitness models and super fit, buff people on Instagram being the ones that get the most shares and get promoted by these platforms, what is seen as appropriate, we do have this internal stigmatization of our bodies. It's a real thing. I want to be clear that like all bodies are beautiful, but like I also love a good tummy.
That's why I'm becoming a bear for you.
That wasn't a read. That was not what I meant. No, I mean like I have friends that I think are super sexy, and they're sexy because they flaunt their belly. They flaunt that they like a big, strong gut and like muscle tits,
And I love this fetish because it feeds right into my feeding fetish.
Remember the aphrodisiac episode? Yeah, that was fun, and we had a really good time, and we talked about how food affects us too. We even have a feederism video if you're curious, but these are people that eat food to gain weight or change their body. Again, this is where flipping it on its head, being in control of how your body changes and being able to have the authority of your body and how it looks can be sexy and empowering.
As long as you're not jeopardizing your health.
Exactly. In doing some research specifically on feederism and just the ethics, that I found a really, really heartfelt post, and I want to read a quote from it. Gaining is a fetish scene that doesn't just bring people together over the lust for size, it also supports those people in a journey of mutual self-fulfillment and self-actualism. Being able to control how your body looks is super sexy. And if you feel good and you empower not only yourself but others by just being visible as a powerful person, regardless of your size, that helps people. And that's really sexy.
Yeah, if you own it and are secure about it, that's sexy.
I agree. So get on your feeding kink if you want to. Feed Daddy.
Yeah, feed Daddy.
In fact, this is a great segue for the next kink. And if you're hungry, I brought you some candy. I brought you some snacks. Here, that one's already, yeah. Okay. Because this next kink is just gonna be called Berry Delightful.
Best kind of prize is a surprise.
Are those berry delightful?
No, very delightful.
They're strawberry delightful.
I love this.
Oh, good. And it goes on to say, you know that scene in Willy Wonka where the character Violet turns into a big blueberry?
I'd rather not talk about this one.
I like to roleplay that is happening to me. It's such a strong fetish that even chewing gum and my partner singing the Oompa Loompa song turns me on. I love this. It goes on, it goes on. I used to feel a lot of shame about it, but since getting a lot of my kinky friends and opening up, I'd be able to become a little less awkward about it, and I've definitely watched the movie far too many times. Oh,
Oompa loompa
Oh, no.
doodly doo.
not quite.
I've got a question especially for you.
Okay.
Do I turn you on when I'm blue?
Yeah. Oompa.
Oompa doompa doodly doo.
And then a tube comes down and sucks you out.
Oh, I like tubes that suck me.
That terrified me, honestly, as a child. I never wanted candy again.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious when she blew up.
And actually, as I was researching this one was super easy to find. It is all over the place. We've even had people ask if they could turn us into blueberries on social media. They want to like photo manipulate us. Very interesting, and I'm flattered. You might even say I'm a little blue.
It actually might give us blue balls.
That's a good one. Thank you, Willy Wonka. Apparently you did something with the people in their childhood. They were very impressionable.
Your information, little drunk. Whipped cream isn't whipped cream at all unless it's been whipped with whips. Everybody knows that.
Was there a different fetish for every fruit though? Strawberry?
Blueberries
Bananas.
stuck out the most.
You would think bananas would stick out the most.
Oh, regardless of the fruit, though, they were all very appealing.
I
I'm not
just was
I'm
gonna
not
do that
kink shame.
one.
You slipped on that one, Daddy. I bet if they did the banana thing, they had real potassium. And our final kink for today's episode, where are they now? And it goes on to say, werewolves. I love the idea of being claimed by a powerful werewolf and made to be his mate. The combination of being helpless and also protected after turning into a werewolf is just chef's kiss.
Did that turn you on? No, that kind of makes sense because it's such a trope in so many different movies and cartoons. If you're growing up, werewolves were cool.
And werewolves in a way are kind of like a metamorphosis. Like a lot of gay tropes revolve around werewolves because the body's changing. They're different, but they're still kind of in plain sight. They're hot when they like.
So, and you remember like all of those werewolf movies, like Werewolf in London, where he was super embarrassed about getting
Sure.
body hair everywhere and turning into a wolf?
Yeah, but it also was very sexy. It was like, rah, like there's so much action. And in fact, I've even had fan art, which I appreciate. Thank you guys if you ever draw stuff of us. We love that. Of somebody that drew me as a werewolf. I'll put it there. And I thought it was really sexy. It was a furry artist, so they did a really, really good cartoony job, but it was like cute and dorky, but also like, it was cute. It was cute to the point where like I've been put under by a hypnotist friend, and we specifically like talked about like trying a werewolf transformation, and it was enjoyable.
That's what that howling was last
Stop
time.
it. You're barking up the wrong tree. But I just mean to say like, I get it. Werewolves are hot.
Oh.
Gary, quit it. You're gonna start a howl.
I didn't start it.
And now I'm being pandered to. So what did you think of those kinks, Daddy?
I liked a few of them actually, and I could see why they're kinks.
They're definitely a little bit more different than the ones we did last time. A little bit more out there because there was so many more responses. So again, if you would like to fill it in, we'll do more of these episodes if you guys keep giving us those curious kinks down in the forum below. But before we go, I wanted to kind of talk about, because we didn't do it last time, how to express your secret kinks. Give you a few pointers before we go, because I think that would be super helpful, especially for this kind of episode. Because sometimes sharing these kinks, if it's not anonymous, if it's with a partner, can be really difficult. So to start out, just remember that we all have something that we think is weird, but it might not be. There might be thousands of people that have the same kink as you. You're just not finding them because you're not expressing it.
And the likelihood that your partner also has something that they want to express is pretty high.
Yeah, and sometimes you can introduce a partner to something that they actually like maybe more than you. They just don't know it's a thing yet. I didn't know teeth fetishes were a thing. I didn't know that there were kaleidoscope fetishes. You got to express yourself.
Okay, Madonna. Come on, girls. Do you believe in love? Well, I got something to say about it.
and express it in such a way that you want to do it with them, not something that they have to do.
And if you're the partner, keep an open mind and listen.
Correct. Be ready for a positive, a negative, maybe a neutral or confused reaction, and have some resources available. Maybe there's a kink channel that you could direct them to.
But most importantly, if it turns you on, it probably always will. So address it now and embrace it and enjoy it.
And so long as you're not hurting anyone, you're getting consent, your kinks are valid. So ask for what you want, go get those kinks, and god damn it, Kevin, if you shame one more person.
Kevin!
So thanks for watching again. Thank you so much for all of the input that you guys have given on this series. I think we'll do more, maybe?
I think we have hundreds to go.
We have lots more responses, which you guys are welcome to add to. We've already said that like 5 times. So whether you input something here or not, always have a safe word. And today's safe word is...
Arroo!
You're gonna start a pack howl.
Arroo!
No.
And if you have a secret fetish of ringing bells, ring that bell
Ooh.
and like the like.
Oh, and leave a comment. Tell us what you want to see next time. But don't forget to subscribe to What's a Safe Word, and we will see you next time.
Bye!
And if something's causing you discomfort or harm or distress, go see a professional, a therapist. They can't tell anyone else about whatever you're into, so don't feel weird.
We're not professionals. We're professional kinksters.
Professional perverts, but not licensed anything. I don't have a license.
No matter how you spend your downtime, your sofa is an integral part of your home, which is why I was super excited to partner with...
Blooper. That was your phone.
My phone fell.
You got so excited you had to